So welcome ladies and gentlemen, we're here today to have a look at some FIFA 16 gameplay. Finally, yes, we get a chance to have a look at the game in action. They didn't show anything really at E3, it's just been a bunch of trailers and sort of other fun stuff. But today finally a chance to see the gameplay. Now we've got Borussia Mönchengladbach taking on Borussia Dortmund. This is the new stadium, or one of the new 9 stadiums that have been added this year, Borussia-Park. We know they're going to be great, lovely detail in there as always. I don't think there's ever been any problems when it comes to FIFA, when it comes to the stadiums and all that. But we're going to look at the gameplay, we're going to discuss it, talk about it. They've actually added sort of the Bundesliga graphics this year, for those that don't know, and I'm sure everyone knows, obviously last year they added the 20 Premier League sides, including all the stadiums, all the sort of overlay graphics to give it a real authentic look and feel of the Premier League. Well, they've done the same thing this year with the Bundesliga. Now, there isn't obviously going to be, and I've said obviously a lot of times already, but there's not going to be the same sort of 20 stadiums. We know that. It hasn't got the full license, Bundesliga, but we're going to see the graphics, the overlays, which is going to give it a more authentic look and feel. And we know it's sort of a thing that EA probably now going to start doing every year. We'll probably see next year La Liga, etc. But for now, the Bundesliga is up and running. Well, this was a goal early on. Straight off the bat, the header scored from a corner. And for me, this looks a little bit disappointing how easy it is to score headers. FIFA has always been far too easy for my liking to whip one in from a corner, online or offline. And as long as you've got sort of a tall, powerful headed player, he's going to win the header and he's probably going to score a goal 9 times out of 10. So that was a little bit sort of disheartening. So hopefully they'll sort of rectify that a little bit more, because it shouldn't be that easy to score headers. You know, you don't see a whole lot of headers scored every single week. Yes, now and then you do. But FIFA, just too easy for me. I think Pez sort of has it right, although sometimes a little bit too hard on Pez to score headers, actually. But anyway, back to the gameplay. This is obviously rainy conditions. You're going to see sort of a few new additions in this video. The referee's going to whip out the vanishing spray. We're going to get to look at that, which is, you know, another nice addition they've included. But I think the gameplay this year a little bit slower, a little bit less pace than it was last year. This is a chance here for Aubameyang's strike and a decent save by the goalie. But a slower pace, and the dribbling sort of being refined. They talk about in this video over at IGN, I mean there's another header being won straight off the corner, but they talk about how last year they felt the likes of Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, etc. online, people could abuse them, and they're right, they could abuse him. It was far too easy. Give the ball to Ronaldo, off he goes, no chance of catching him, no chance of making a challenge. He's going to probably get a shot on goal, you know, 9, 10 times out of 10. So they've talked about the balancing of that, which is a big thing. And by doing that, they've included sort of more defending mechanics this year. You'll be able to slide in and then press the button again, and the player will try and sort of stick out a leg to stop the player from running through. So it's nice to see they've sort of incorporated some new defending mechanics. I've enjoyed defending on FIFA, I have to say. I don't mind it. I've sort of got accustomed to the whole tactical defending, and it's worked out quite well. It's not easy, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to see they've incorporated that in there. Well, this was a nice little finish here by Aubameyang. Great delivery, shocking defending. And this is one of the new celebrations that if you go over to the camera, you'll see here, the cameraman will sort of pan into him and there'll be a new celebration. So if you go behind the goal, towards the cameraman, something else they've added just to sort of incorporate some more celebrations into the game. Obviously, the user celebrations are there as always. Aubameyang, they're looking fantastic, looking great. But the game, it looks the same as last year, obviously. Once again, another obviously in there. But it's going to be the same game. It's the same mechanics. They're just refining it. They've also added the new passing, sort of a real passing that you can fizz into a player's feet. You're going to see them using it an awful lot in this video. And my only worry about this is that people are going to use this all the time, because I'm not seeing much of sort of negative effects there. Goalie having a horrific save there and then tipping that one away. But I'm not seeing any sort of error pass. Like if you whip a pass into someone's feet like that, it should take him a little bit longer to control it, and maybe not even control it. You can see there he's whipping it round. He's probably going to do it again. He's fizzing one into, but he's like, it's instant control. There, he's done it again. Instant control. He's going to fizz it into his feet again. I think a lot of people are going to abuse this. Now, you can't use this when it comes to through balls, so that's good to see. We're not going to see some ridiculous long spamming through balls, but when it comes to the passing, I think everyone's going to use this, because what's the point of actually using, you know, normal pass? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, here's a new addition. The referee whipping out there. You can see his vanishing spray around the ball. It's a nice element, I have to say. And the nice thing about this as well is once the free kick is taken by Marco Reus, the spray actually does stay on the field. It doesn't just vanish. I know it's called vanishing spray, but it doesn't spray off. It doesn't just vanish off straight away. It's going to sort of go away in time once players have run over it. So there's a chance for Reus. Wasn't a great free kick, straight over the bar. But you'll see here as we get back into the action, he takes the free kick. There it is. The lines are still there, which is nice. Nice to see, but it's just little touches like that. It's what they're going to do this year, EA and FIFA. They're going to add different elements to the game. And also what he spoke about was sort of the goalkeepers, which was something I was a little bit confused of the fact that he was saying last year they added these goalies, the new animations. They've been spending a couple of years refining them. And he actually said he was sort of impressed and happy with the way goalies were last year. I'm not sure if he was playing the right game as myself, because I thought the goalies were absolutely horrific when the game did come out. They were dropping balls from corners. They were getting beaten far too easy at their near post. The goalies were the worst they've been in FIFA for many, many years. So for him to say that, you know, they were happy with it last year was a little bit weird. But anyway, they've tweaked them more this year. They have to put out better goalies than last year. I think they will definitely be a step up. You know, I've watched Pez videos and it's sort of the same thing. The goalies seem to be tougher now, I don't know, to program, because both sort of companies having a hard time getting them right. I don't mind an error now and then of the goalie making a mistake, but simple basic routine errors is something that shouldn't be in the game from day one. So there's something else they've added, is the new training mode, or trainer mode, whatever you want to call it. See, he's just turned it off now, but this is something that's sort of for the newer players of FIFA. If you don't want to worry about all the different combinations, and there are a lot of them now, you know, you can really do quite a variety of different tricks and etc. You can use this training mode, that's a decent strike there, to make it easier, simplify it. It's going to put it down to just 2 controls, pass or loft it, switch it, through ball, etc., shoot. So yeah, that's another thing they've added. It's nothing too special. I don't think anyone's really going to worry about it too much, but it is for the newly added, newly acquired players who have picked up FIFA this year. Also, something is the new no-touch dribbling. I haven't seen too much of it, but that was a great delivery there. That was what I mean, though, the abusing. Are people going to abuse that this year? They may do. Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know if adding this real kind of whipping of a long, quick pass like that was a good idea, because I feel like if there isn't going to be much of an error towards it, and it hasn't looked like there is a consequence to using this pass, everyone is going to abuse it. That was a pretty of a terrible foul there. So I'm hoping that it isn't ridiculous. It isn't too easy to just swing a pass from left to right, fizz it into a player's feet, and you can actually worry about using sort of both elements at different times. But this whole no-touch dribbling, something they've added now. We know Lionel Messi uses it all the time when he's playing. The master, the magician at dribbling, who's easily one of the, if not the best in the world when it comes to taking on defenders and skipping past them. But said it's going to take some time for you to get used to. So, you know, I'll definitely be trying that out when the demo comes out. You know, what this does to try and give you maybe an extra yard of space to whip out a strike like that. Came off the woodwork there in the end. Decent attempt. And then we also talk a little bit about the women's side of things. Now, we know they've added 12 national teams for the ladies after the World Cup, which was quite a big success, you'd say. It's the women's football game certainly has progressed quite nicely over the last few years, but they've added this whole new sort of, well, we know, game mode where you're going to be able to play 12 national teams, women, but it's not just going to be, you know, different skins. It's not just going to be a woman who's been reskinned from a man, you know, added some, you know, body parts and voila. No, it's going to be a whole new sort of dynamic to the game, they say. It's going to be less physical because the women's game isn't quite as physical as the men. You know, a little bit slower paced, more high shots, he says, because, you know, women goalies aren't as tall, so they go for the more top corner. I don't know if that's even true. I don't think it's true. Women don't aim for top corners. When you take a shot, you take a shot. It's as simple as that. But it's going to be interesting to see. Once again, once I get the game, we'll be playing it, trying out the women's game, and really seeing how different it is to the men's. I'm quite intrigued, I have to say, because it's definitely something different. I've never played with women before, women teams before. But is it just going to be sort of eye candy for us to play with the likes of Alex Morgan? Or is it going to be a mode that a lot of us play? We'll have to wait and see, because it's obviously only there's 12 national teams. It's not a lot. But, you know, I think if it's a success this year, they'll add more and more next year, no question about that. And it's a mode they can sort of tweak further and further as the years draw on. Maybe add some more game modes, a World Cup mode, a different kind of mode for different teams. So we'll see how it goes. A decent save there by the goalie, covering his near post. Nice that he wasn't beaten from that kind of range. But it's just the little touches this year. They haven't gone for anything too crazy. They're just tweaking, they're balancing. I think that's the key this year. They're worrying about balancing the game for the first time in a while. Last year, it wasn't very well balanced. The fast players, the pacey players will win 9 times out of 10 up against anyone. And it wasn't about possession, it was more about, let's just give it a Ronaldo, let's just give it a Bale, let him run down the wings and score as many goals as he can in 90 minutes. This year they've gone for the more possession approach, pass it around. You're going to be able to defend better, numerous ways to defend, and that, for me, is quite a big addition. But we'll have to wait and see how it does play out, because you've got to get your hands on it, you've got to get a feel for it before you can really make a judgment call for yourself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments. I mean, what are you guys looking forward to? Are you impressed by the gameplay? Looking forward to FIFA? I know they haven't sort of gone leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, but it's just the way it is at the moment. I think they need to come out with maybe a new engine at some point. That could be seen next year from what I hear, but we'll have to wait and see. But let me know in the comments if you are looking forward to it. Maybe more than Pez this year. I think it's really going to be quite interesting to see who picks up which game. Pez looking quite nice as long as they sort the keepers out, and FIFA likewise as long as they have a solid fundamental of the game and it's balanced this year. We're going to have 2 great competitions. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be back with some more shortly. Lots more gameplay and stuff to come. Demo just round the corner for Pez. Demo for FIFA coming out next month. But until next time, take care.